Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our live update from Helena. It's been a very busy week. I was going to say it's welcome back to week what, but I can't remember. Week eight?
It's eight.
All right. So we are now only about 7 days away from the transmittal deadline. That's March 7th. So we are seeing, as we predicted, a flood of bills and also kind of the second round on a few bills that we've been working on. So, we've had some successes this week. We had a really great Tuesday. You want to tell them about House Ag?
I would love to tell them about House Ag. So we started off by hearing a bill to add bison as a livestock species that can be reimbursed on the livestock loss board for losses. And a bison member came up and talked about some of the predation that he'd experienced on his ranch. And we have very specific policy that we believe that if you pay the per capita fee, you should have access to livestock services, which include the livestock loss board. So we were able to support that, and that passed unanimously out of committee. And then after that, we had a bill that provided for pesticide labels to fulfill the duty to warn. So we all have seen those labels on the outside of pesticide jugs, and there are a few important things to note about those. Those require extensive research, both by the companies and outside sources that are verified by the EPA to get registered and have a label. Well, everything on that label has to be scientifically proven. So we're all aware of many of the lawsuits that are out there these days that are making unfounded claims about cancer causes, and some of those have been successful on pesticides. And this would allow that label to serve as a failure to warn. The pesticide manufacturers are unable to put just a broad spectrum warning on there because of the EPA restrictions. We're requiring that they be all claims on a label have to be scientifically proven. So this will ensure that pesticides will continue to be available in Montana for farmers and ranchers to be able to use as crop protection products.
And that one also passed out the same day. So that was very exciting. There were several, there was a bill that we had opposed from the week before, the one that banned the mRNA vaccines in livestock that we opposed. That one was voted down. So, like I said, very good day in House Ag, and I had a great day up in Senate Ag on Tuesday as well. We heard our bill, adding black bears to the livestock loss reduction and mitigation program again, and we had the president of Cascade County Farm Bureau come down. Great job when you come down here, and it had a great hearing, a lot of positivity around that bill. So we predict that one to be moving quickly to the governor's office, and we're very excited about it. We got to also spend some time in the natural resource committees, of course. Interestingly enough, we went in and opposed a bill that would have created the Montana Homesteading Act by selling off our state lands. Now, of course, that is a problem because our farmer and rancher members utilize these state lands. We lease them. And of course, there's also a process in place that the state uses to trade, do land banking, or to sell state lands within the land banking program that has the protections in place to also, to provide for the school trust, which there's a fiduciary responsibility to, but also to give farmers and ranchers the right of first refusal should those lands become available. So that's a much more fair way to go about the process. And also it's strange to have a specific carve out for one type of use. So we oppose that one, predict it will go down soon. And then we had one we supported in there too.
Yes, we supported a bill that extended the perfection deadline for some of the reserved water rights that municipalities and conservation districts have had reserved for about the last 30 years. So one of the requirements of those reserved water rights is that over time they become perfected. Well, the deadline was coming up, and many of those are not fully perfected yet, but the need for future water is still really clear. And one of the reasons why they set those aside was for agriculture, and that's what those conservation district reserved water rights are for. So we were able to go in and support the extension of that deadline. I visited with one of our members about that, and one of the things that he shared is part of the reason why some of those haven't been perfected yet is because the areas that they were planning on using them in, they don't quite have the irrigation technology yet, or there isn't quite the economics incentives to do it yet. So we're still on that trajectory, though, of we're going to need more food and water, and this is a great tool to be able to fulfill those future needs.
It's always fun doing these things live in the Capitol. We're actually sponsoring the lunch for the pages today, so we're going to have to cut this pretty short. But in the last 2 minutes, I'll just say there are going to be a multitude of bill hearings on Saturday. So we know of one bill we're going to have to go in on. There could be more. Stay tuned for more details on that next week. But this afternoon, we will be opposing the exempt well bill, Senate Bill 358. It's the one that came out of the comp review, which I was a part of. Worked really hard to get that bill into a place where our members could be supportive of it. Unfortunately, there's just not enough protections in it for senior water right holders at the moment. But I am working very diligently, we both are, to add some amendments that can make this thing do what the comp review was hoping to do, and also to protect our farmer and rancher members. And we're going to continue to keep working on that so that we can hopefully get this in a place where I say that we can fix it. So stay tuned for that. We have members coming to town to oppose the bill as well. So I look forward to seeing you all and updating you next week. So,
yes. And a couple other things there. Thank you to everyone that responded to that pesticide action alert, and that is still available, and that's headed to the House floor today. As you know, pesticides are controversial issues, and we could certainly use your support. If you're not signed up for those action alerts or aren't getting them, shoot Sage an email or comment on the post, and we'll be sure to get those to you. It is so meaningful for these guys to hear from you, and I also wanted to give a shout out to a couple of the members that testified remotely this week on that pesticide bill, Jess Vandal and Greg Blackman. And Gwen Semenek, yes. We so appreciate all of your guys' willingness and support to tune in, and that virtual testimony can be a really good opportunity to do that. So thank you.
And one other thing I'd add too is that our legislators are getting a ton of anti-emails on the pesticide bill, a lot of them from out of state. It's really important that our folks hear from you, their constituents. Those ones are going to mean a lot. So please do reach out and ask them to support House Bill 522.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you.